begin the repair, we'll take the pentalobe screwdriver and remove the 2 bottom screws from the device. We'll then take the single-sided razor blade and create a gap between the edge of the screen and the chassis of the device, and then carefully pry upwards to create a larger gap, which will now be big enough to insert our guitar pick into, where we can slide it through this right hand edge, the bottom edge, and the left hand edge. Once you've lifted it away from the sides and the edge, we're going to wiggle the phone a little bit from side to side, holding it from the bottom, and then open up the screen, just like opening a book. And we can see this one is actually very wet inside. So the first thing I'm going to do is start to dry it out with the hot air gun and a microfiber cleaning cloth. We don't know if the liquid has done any further damage already, but I'll proceed with the repair and test it out once the screen's been replaced. We can now take the crosshead screwdriver and remove the 3 screws that hold the shield in place for the screen connector and the battery. Once they're unscrewed, take your tweezers and lift the shield out of the way. Then, using the plastic spudger, it's important to isolate power from the device by disconnecting the battery. Now there's no power running through the device, it's safe to disconnect the front screen connector, which is this one here. Now we'll move up to the top of the device and remove the single crosshead screw from the middle of this shield, the tri-wing screw in the top right, and the other crosshead screw in the top left. To lift up this shield, and the spudger to disconnect this flex cable here. That means that we can now remove the screen from the phone and begin working on cleaning up the chassis, ready for the new screen. We need to remove the old water resistant seal from this one, and to do that, take your tweezers and begin lifting up and peeling away the spent adhesive seal. On all models of iPhone after the iPhone 12, these did get a little bit more awkward, so just take your time with this and get as much of it away as you possibly can. Once all the seal's removed, we're going to take some isopropyl alcohol now, apply it to the edge of the chassis, and then using the cleaning brush, brush away any dirt, dust and grime that's left behind. Repeat the same process to all edges of the phone, making sure to get in all the nooks and crannies of the chassis. Be careful when you're cleaning out this top edge, because you don't want to nudge the Face ID infrared camera or front camera sensor. With that now clean, we can take our new adhesive seal and apply that to the chassis, starting in the top left corner, lining up the left hand edge, and then making sure that it sits nice and flush all the way around the device. Once it's laid flat, use the back end of the spudger just to push it down and make sure that it's sat really nice and neat all the way around. Then peel away this top layer of the film, and that's now ready to receive the new screen. We'll put that down to one side, then go back to this damaged screen, and using the tri-wing screwdriver this time, remove the 3 screws holding down this shield here. Use your tweezers to lift the shield, and then using your heat gun or hairdryer, we're going to warm up this flex cable here so that we can soften the adhesive, making it easy to pull away that little cable. Once that's heated and the adhesive is softened, we're going to get those tweezers again, and starting from this area here, start lifting up this flex cable enough so that we can get our thumb underneath it here to peel it away from the back of the display. Once that's peeled off, we're going to go back to the sensor area just over here and lift the proximity sensor first. Then, allowing the heat to do its thing, we're going to lift up the proximity sensor and the ambient light sensor. Now, taking the new screen, we'll peel off these protective peel stuff off the back of the display. Then start by realigning the ambient light sensor here, proximity sensor and microphone, and then that should allow the rest of the flex cable to line up exactly where it needs to be. Finally, there's just that little shield and the 3 tri-wing screws to resecure. And once they're secured into place, this screen is now ready to reinstall into our chassis. The easiest way to do this is by offering up the screen connector first, making sure that that sits into place, then get the front sensor cable and secure that, and then reattach the battery connector. We can now realign this shield that goes over the top flex cables of the motherboard, resecure the crosshead screw just here, tri-wing screw just here, and the crosshead screw in the top left. Moving back down, we're going to reinstall the shield for the screen and battery, which is held down by the 3 crosshead screws. We can now remove that final layer of the peel for the adhesive seal. This usually comes off in 2 or 3 pieces, and to get the final piece you have to fold down the screen and peel it away. To re-secure the screen into place, go ahead and install the top part of the screen first, then work your way down, re-securing it back into the chassis, before finally reinstalling the 2 pentalobe screws at the bottom of the phone. That just about completes the repair of this iPhone 13 front screen. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.